Hi there. I haven't got too many slides today, so I'm going to talk and we've got a little demo. I want to open up by saying payments are broken. Okay, and what I mean by that is the payment systems that are out there are focused on B2B, on developed markets, in B2C, and we're all very comfortable in this world. But one of the areas that is fundamentally broken in payments is how we disperse around the charity regime. So how do we get money out to the people who absolutely need it in their time of crisis? Okay, and we think there's something very special about what we're going to announce today, which is a partnership with Stella on their distribution platform, with International Rescue, who will come up in a moment and talk, but also with MoneyGram. And in the middle of that is Zodia Custody. So a 2-minute overview on what we are and who we are. So we came out to Standard Chartered Bank as part of their innovation program 4 years ago as a standalone crypto custodian. This is super important because post-FTX, that language is really important. Pre-FTX, people didn't care about us. They cared because they had an exchange and they had a custodian and they were all happy. Now the world has changed, and being owned by a bank, or by 3 banks in fact, is actually super important to the safety and security of your digital assets. So that is really, really important. We also believe that regulation is critical. And as we know, across most of the crypto-friendly countries, regulation is coming in. Regulation is going to provide the reassurance to institutions, plus also to consumers and how to use and create innovative ideas and solutions. And one of the solutions we've got is what we're going to talk about today. If we look at charitable giving, there was a moment in 2005 where I think things fundamentally shifted. And that happened when Hurricane Katrina happened. Because prior to that, you had to have lorries, trucks with cash. What they did at Hurricane Katrina and New Orleans is they distributed Visa and MasterCards. That fundamentally changed a whole range of things. One is you could control where that money went to. You could determine it went into groceries and pharmaceuticals. You could also, one person could carry an awful lot of debit cards or prepaid cards. Gold, dollar bills is very, very difficult to carry. So that changed the dynamic. However, it's not lost on us that that was done in a market which has huge acceptance for cards. In other markets and other countries, that is fundamentally different. So what we're doing is partnering with Stella to use their distribution platform to enable charities to be able to distribute money to the people that need it and use MoneyGram for the last mile. That's always the problem. The problem is always how do you get cash out to somebody. MoneyGram has got that network. MoneyGram has got that capability to do that. And we expect in other countries there will be other providers in working through that. But the key thing is if you can move and use the power of a blockchain to move money quickly, and probably equally important from an audit perspective, that becomes super powerful. So let me show you a very quick demo of what we've done with Stella. So hopefully you can see the power of what we can do. Everything on the blockchain, getting money out to where we want to get them. But there are 4 components to that. One is Stellar. Second one is Zodia Custody to keep those assets absolutely secure. One is MoneyGram in how we get it over to the final mile, the last mile, getting that cash to people, getting that loaded onto cards or phones or whatever it is, and that is super important. But the other one is the donors, is the charities who are actually getting that money in and then distributing it. So I'm very pleased that Adam from International Rescue Committee is going to join us and give his perspective of what we're doing as our first charity.
Hi everyone, lovely to be here. So I represent the International Rescue Committee. Officially, we were founded by Albert Einstein in 1933. We operate in wide, and over the course of the last year, we helped over 32 million around the world. And we actually did a pilot previously with Stellar, Circle, and MoneyGram last year in Ukraine. And that was an interesting pilot for us. It was our first time ever utilizing technology in this way. And for us, that was a major milestone within our organization. But with Julian and with what Zodia are doing, it actually solves a very big issue for us as an organization. Remember, we're headquartered in New York, so you know how the US crypto situation is. And what we find with Zodia, it really alleviates a lot of pain points for us as an organization. We actually only started accepting crypto post-Ukraine. Prior to that, we had no crypto strategy, no process internally. And that all takes time to do. So it took a year from us receiving our first crypto donation to eventually being public about crypto. And that, as you can imagine, over the past year with all the headlines, has been very difficult. So we're now in that point where we accepted crypto publicly, which is great. It took a year, but we finally got there. And it now means that we can now build this infrastructure so we're then more accessible. It means we're then able to do our job better and facilitate aid globally. So with the nature of what Zodia is doing, it means we can be a little bit more creative. And what I mean by that, we can utilize, for example, an ENS. We can have donations come through to our ENS. It would reach Zodia. It would go onto the disbursement platform, and it allows us to get aid out to people. That's logical where we're going, and that's what this infrastructure provides us. So we're really pleased with it. We really believe in it. And I think Zodia is a critical player within the ecosystem. And the great thing about having a custodian like this is we're a charity. We're an organization that's not set up to do this. So we need a player that people can trust, that can rely on, that has a track record, that has the backup, has the infrastructure, that can facilitate this for us. And then that way we can just focus on doing our job, which is basically being an NGO internationally, across 50 countries and doing our work. So that's in a nutshell. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And I think if you look at this as you evolve, yes, you are accepting crypto donations, and then how can we distribute this? But then if you look at USDC and actually convert your fiat into crypto and then use this as an engine, I think that becomes really interesting as well.
Yeah, and sorry to stop you there, but you're absolutely right. I mean, we're relying so much on stablecoins globally. You think about how many high inflation countries there are around the world. Every one of them is a crisis situation in some way where hyperinflation is taking reins. But this is why stablecoins are literally the killer use case for us.
Fantastic, thank you. That's all we're going to talk about. Happy to have any questions if anybody has got anything they'd like to ask us. If not, myself, Seren, and Anusha are around, as well as Adam. Thank you very much.